Hello. Still waiting for y'all to enter. So, hey SJ, welcome. Finally, we're live. Give you some seconds time. As I said earlier, it is weird to start the live stream like nobody is in there yet. So I'm talking to literally at the present time with no one. But when people watch it again, it's not no one. You know what I mean? Hello, welcome. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Hey, Sister Crow, welcome. Can you hear me? Let's add a poll to ask y'all. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Hello. Hey everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while. These days I've been taking a lot of like what we call it. A vacation off of lives. I don't go live a lot these days. I'm pretty well busy. So you can hear me? Okay, sounds good. Okay, starting with my favorite part. Where are you watching from and what time is it at your place? Tell me. Let's see. First, people, from where? UK, 2021. California, 12:21 in the morning. Ontario, still in the morning. Morocco, Portugal, 20. Washington, 12. Okay, welcome everyone. Isn't it crazy how we have the same calendar, same like everything, but the time is so different? So some people would literally be in the future while we are still in their past at the same time. Isn't that mind blowing? May God be with you and always with you. Thank you so much. And you too. From Bangladesh, welcome. Yeah, for real. Okay, starting. Do you ever thought grammar is crying at the corner? Thank you, Mohammed. تباركم الله أختي الفاضلة. شكرا جزيلا. And thank you for the support, and I'm glad that you are enjoying the content. By the way, have you seen my last vlog, semi vlog, on last live stream? By the way, it's not public. I turned it into private. I told you that I have a lot of random clips that I didn't share before, and I thought, like, what a wasted potential. Why not posting it? So I said I would put it in like a randoms clip kind of vlog and put it out there. And finally had the time to do so. But I'm so glad that people really are liking it. It's really good. It's a good feeling to make something and people like your creations. That's a pretty good feeling. Okay, someone finally answered the question, the starter question of the live stream. There's no cure for cancer because cancer is many different diseases, not a single thing with one cure. Hmm, a point of view. Okay. Cancer is a parasite. Please look up Finban, Finban, wait, Finbendazole, an anti-parasitic medicine for years used to heal cancer. Okay. So here someone says cancer has a cure, right? But what is parasite, by the way? Let me just look it up, up, up. My English now is not operating. Yeah, yeah, I understood. I'm new. Welcome. Hey, am I glitching? Really? Someone here says that I'm glitching. So actually, they say there is a treatment for cancer. So there is a treat for cancer. Okay. Hello to the only one, to the only YouTuber I have notification turned on. Welcome. That is a good compliment to give me. Okay, let's put the question here in a poll and see people's different opinions, mindsets, etc. Because I do have a saying on that, but let's hear you first. Wait a minute. Okay, here's the question in a poll. You have two options, either yes and because, give me your explanation, and either no, not yet, with no explanation. Like, this is pretty familiar. We are pretty familiar with this. From California, welcome. When I ask you, like, from where are you watching and what time is it, I don't feel I fully comprehend what this actually in real life means, because like I can't comprehend multiple worlds at once. And I believe that's normal. That's why this is my most like liked part of the live streams because it opens my mind, like it clocks a new potential, I guess. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I meant to say that the cure rate for cancer in children is very high. So, in your opinion, there is a cure, but with a ratio. Like, it depends on the body reaction to this cure, right? Florida, hey, Cancer Research UK. Okay. Cancer is when abnormal cells divide in an uncontrolled way. Some cancers may eventually spread into other tissues. There are more than 200 different types. Okay. So, I thank you for giving us like a broader like definition for the thing because I believe I'm just a normal person like a lot of people here. We don't have a really specified informations about cancer. We just know it's a thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, okay. From Texas. Hey, welcome. The best bet is prevention, which involves keeping your immune system strong and attempting to avoid things like chemicals that encourage mutations. Absolutely, being a healthy person with a healthy lifestyle, etc., does has a very great effect. But what does mutation mean? Let me just search it up real quick. Yeah, I got your point. Okay. So 56% believes not yet. Okay, great. Cancer is multifactorial and different. But some countries like Russia and China has developed vaccines against specific types. I've heard that also, that's on the news very lately, but I couldn't really confirm if it's like real 100% or it's just like a headline to get, you know what I mean? It has nothing, it has nothing cure because the cancer is coming from the food and vaccines. Until they stop with these vaccines that have vile stuff in them and stop with all these fake proceeds, processed food, no cure. Okay, so you believe inputs to the human body are the main and only, according to your saying, factor of whether getting or not getting cancer. Okay, a point of view. My sister had cancer, but being what? Benny? When she was 10, beginning, okay, when she was 10, but alhamdulillah, she survived. Well, congratulations. That is just a good thing to hear, you know? Someone finally surviving such a hard and tough journey. Wish her all the best. All the best, yeah. And I can't keep up with y'all. Okay, wait a minute. Cancers are different. I had two friends die from cancer this past month. Oh my god. And I know another person who is doing really well. Hmm, that's so sad. Yes, cancer, it is. Like, all diseases are evil, okay? But especially cancer and those chronic diseases where you just know, like, there's not a clear option for that. You know what I mean? So, there will never be a cure for cancer, and vaccine are questionable, as cancer is your own cells mutating. I heard that. I remembered hearing this in my biology class, where the teacher says that what happens in cancer is that the cell that got the cancer would go into the normal cell and forces it to produce the DNA that has cancers with it, you know? So with that, the cells who has cancer would keep growing and growing. If here is any doctor, I would like to prove if it's right or not. Most people have cancer due to the COVID job. After a few years of people taking the COVID vaccine, cancer has skyrocketed. Please give me a. I don't know what's going on with my tongue. It's just words are acting weird. Anyways, what? That's another point of view. Well, I personally did not um, trust the COVID vaccine. So, off topic question, but if you could decorate your room with any theme, what would it be? Hmm. That is a good question that I hadn't thought about since 3 years. But in my point of view, I know I would be out, inshallah. Okay. So when I'm doing that, my room would be very much minimalistic. By the way, I was thinking about that just today. I developed a new fear. I'm not afraid of bombs, but I'm afraid of buying new things because I have nowhere to put them. And I kinda just got used to the minimalistic style. So I'm like, no need. I literally don't need to get that cute little mug because I have a mug at home. You know what I mean? So like when I'm out and I have all the possibilities and all everything I can do, I think like, would I be still having that fear or would I be developed, and just let go of? That is a question in my mind. Lots of conspiracy theories being mentioned here. Okay, let me keep up with them. Wait a minute. Cancer is usually caused by a build-up of changes in a cell's instructions. Okay, some changes happen by chance, some are inherited, and some are influenced by what the body is exposed to over time. Okay, so many factors are there. Mhm. Yes, cancer are caused by mutations, environment, and diet can have an impact. Some viruses can be also a cause. Okay. There are some proven cancer causing chemicals that the US still chooses to use. I live in an area surrounded by oil, gas, and chemical factories, pesticides, and insecticides that are also sprayed. Well, that is devastating to see such chemicals being surrounding you and not being able to do anything about it, or and they reached a point where they made self-awareness so hard to act on. Like, okay, I'm self-aware, I don't want to get all these chemicals, so I want, every time I would step into a store, I have to keep checking every label. And if I didn't know what this term is, okay, Google it. You know? So I don't know. I don't know what to say actually. Your phobia is the cure for consumerism. Mm. So should I be sad or happy about it? It's still a phobia. I'm happy to log in now and catch you streaming live. Welcome. Okay, how about now I start talking about a doctor who claims that he got the cure for cancer. And guess what? He got almost 2 weeks ago. How about that? Isn't that mind blowing? Would you like to hear that story? Wait a minute. Let me create a poll. Another poll. What is the question? Yes. The microplastics that are so prevalent around the globe are also causing mutations. We can do nothing about it but try not to worry. Plastic is the major problem for our planet. And guess what? It is man made. So, yes, there's some error here in the conversation. But now, this man has been in the media, I believe, since 2021, something, or 2021, and only got so popular, so trendy. The whole media has been talking about him, and all people criticizing him only about a month ago. A month ago. Like, he's been here for 5, 6 years, and only the last few 3 months maybe got skyrocketed. He has been in every news, every channel, every doctor coming out talking about him, that he is such a bad doctor. You should never listen to him. He's saying everything against the protocols. You don't understand. I'm an Arab, okay? And this has been happening on the Arab media outlets. This is such a fire story, and I would like to hear your point of views at the end of this live stream. So, if you would like to hear it, shout out here at the poll if you'd like, whether yes or no. In Spain, a famous doctor claimed to have found a cure for colon cancer. Okay, what happened next? Was the cure really produced, or what's the completion of the story? Cancer has so many types, so it is different which one has a cure. He actually said that he not only cure cancers with every kinds, but also chronic diseases, digestive system problem, and crazy enough that he also claims that he cures. Wait a minute, let me just search it up. He also claimed that he his what what's the opposite of a disease? Cure. It also cures vitiligo. Did I say it right? Vitiligo. Another big industry here in Texas is the medical industry. Sometimes I think they keep using unsafe, toxic materials and practices is to keep making lots of money off of sick people. Please give me a moment to applaud. Absolutely. I, as Lobra, see the medical field the most inhuman sector of all job markets. Why? Because what do you mean I would see someone dying in front of me and still not act because I'm not paid? What do you mean I would see someone literally dying in front of me and not give him the medicine because he didn't pay for it? Keep in mind that medicine is something I made because literally I need to cure people. But money is made to control people. So, controlling and curing at the same time. How can you be human while at the same time you want to be controlling? It's a bit of weird, right? Are you asking if we have heard of this doctor? No, I'm gonna tell you the story of him, but wait a minute. I have not heard of this doctor, but I suppose it is possible. At the risk of sounding conspiracy theorist, drug companies who are for profit would not like a cure if it cut into their profits. Definitely. Okay, immunotherapy is apparently one of the most promising types of treatment. And boosting the immune system, you mean? I believe the most like like real sector, or maybe let's say the most human sector is the dental sector, because um it's not like the others. You would not die if you didn't have your tooth done. You know what I mean? Not like others, for example. Dialects. Dialectics between man and nature. One must control to make nature speak, but at the same time have the patience to listen to nature's silence. Is this a quiz? Is this a riddle? I don't think I really understood. What does dialectics mean? Wait a minute. Dialogue, right? Oh, okay. Logic. Okay. So now this doctor, as I said, started on the media around 2021. Okay. He claims that by following his nutrition system, your body would be able to observe all observe or absorb, what's the difference? Anyways, to get all the good nutrients, and therefore it would be able to cure himself from every disease possible. Yes, that is such a strong and crazy claim. You might ask, is this nutrition system paid? Paid? What's wrong with my English? Is this nutrition system paid? Surprisingly enough, no. He shares his information completely for free. Okay, what does this system talk about? He has, first of all, his story is like, how did he got into this system? Like, how did he knew that it is the medicine for all these diseases? His father had cancer. Okay, I don't really remember cancer in what, but he had cancer. So he started treating his father as his first patient, and surprisingly enough, he succeeded. Okay, first of all, what are the qualifications? He had graduated from medical school and then took like a residency in emergencies. So he was working in the emergency sector at the hospital. Okay, bear with me. I know today my English is not working. I don't know what's going on, but the internet is weak in my head. But yeah, he's working in hospital at the emergency sector. Okay, at the same time um, he was teaching at university. Okay, so good nutrition makes good sense, great sense. Okay, but the thing is, his nutrition system goes against a lot, if not all, the medical protocols and nutrition systems that are put out there, that had studies made on them, etc. That would made the media all backfiring at him, doctors, you know, it was such a big thing. Now, after he treated his father, obviously he tried it on himself. He was so fat, he had like an oversized, let's say, but he became slim because like the body started training himself. And then he tried it on his family, friends, etc. When he saw that this system works very well, he said, okay, fair enough. Let's share it with the people out there. I'm a doctor and it's my responsibility to share my knowledge in such a thing. So his system has the basics that you cannot eat at all costs. Number one, which is very known and very familiar, I believe, for you, which is the white flour and all pastries too. Macaroni, pasta, all these kind of things that are made from white flour are a big no. Okay? I'm a big fan of great. Welcome. So, pastries are a big no for him. Second, this was very surprising. He says that you're not allowed to eat chicken or egg. Now, if anyone here goes to the gym, knows exactly what it means to not eat chicken or not eat egg, it's the protein source. How are we going to build our muscles, etc.? But he says he has a legitimate reason for that. Now, for the white flour, he says that this gluten, when you eat the white flour, it makes like a glowy, sticky material that gets stuck on your digestive system and prevents it from absorbing all nutrients. Okay, sounds logic, right? This is the thing. He explains things, in my point of view, in a very logical way. And I'm very pro logic. That is a good point for him. You know, that is the first one. Now, for the egg and chicken, he says that chickens are so full of hormonic injections. You know, okay. He's full. It gets like injected with hormones, so it gets from a small, what do you call it, cheek, to a chicken in 40 days. In 40 days. So this is completely man-made, completely not good for the human body. Leave it alone. Okay, this is the second no. Brazil, South America, welcome. I'm your biggest fan. Thank you so much. Welcome. Okay, so he says pastries no, chicken and egg no. But that third surprising thing was also veggies and greens. He says that we are not supposed to eat that. That is supposed to be for animals. Like, for example, lettuce. It's like a plant. What do you call it? Leaf? It's a leaf. So it's not something to eat. Okay. Third one, what it has, well, he also had. He says, okay, here's the thing that is the most shocking. Okay. He says, sugar was never your problem. Sugar was never toxic for your body. You are allowed to eat sugar however you like, whether honey or in, what do you call it? In a jello or I forget our vocabs. For him, that is definitely allowed. Jam, yes, jam, sugar, pure sugar, chocolate. He also says like chocolates like Nutella, by the way, it is boycotted, but the concept, it is allowed. Why? He says because sugar was not never the problem. Okay, but that is very much against everything we had been taught. We always had been taught like the skin aging, the black under the eyes, everything is related to sugar, you know? He says, no, that's not a thing. And he claims that the reason for his for his sayings is that, for example, we eat honey, which is nature made. We have no interaction with it. Okay? And honey is literally just a sugar. It's just glucose, you know? So it's never different. It's a natural source. Okay? Now that is a big something, like a big shock to the medical, you know, community and the nutrition community, that he says this is very different from every study, you know. But the thing is, okay, he put his claims out there. He also has a lot of other things. Like, for example, he says you don't need to drink water a lot. Your body doesn't need that much of water. You just drink water um once you're 30 thirsty, not 30, like you know, water isn't like a must thing to drink like 2 3 liters of water every day. You're killing your body. Adding on that, fasting for at least 2 days a week, it is just a great thing to have in your day or in your week. Okay? There's no profit in cure. The profit is in the treatment. That's why they make treatments and not cures. Definitely. Definitely. And this is the thing he also says is that he was working in emergency, as I said. So he says that when patients came and they had emergencies and, you know, something wrong with their body, doctors didn't ask them like, What did you eat? What did you had last week, last night? They never cared. They just said like, okay, what's the symptoms? Okay, take this, take that. So he says like, why are we treating the human body like as a machine? This is far more simple than we make it. Okay. Now, um, just collecting my idea. Did I lost something? Okay. Now, as I said, everyone backfired on him, and he unfortunately left his country because they prevented him from teaching at uni. They closed his clinic, everything. By the way, at the beginning, when doctors sued him, and they opened the door for each patient who tried his system and had something wrong, for example, and had bad reviews or a bad reaction with their bodies. By the way, he treated thousands of patients. So, surprisingly enough, no one has got out there saying, oh, I had tried the system completely with every rule and it just made my body worse. On the contrary, they're like, all of them would go there and say, like, this is the best thing we had been taught and the best thing we had to try. And one of those story is a story of a pre-cancer an ex, not pre, an ex-cancer patient. She had a cancer in her tongue. Her videos are on YouTube. It's in Arabic. I don't believe you would understand. But if you've ever wanted to know, I would mention her if you'd like. Okay, she had cancer in her tongue. Okay, and doctors told her that she needs, of course, to take chemo, and then I don't know the other step. Like there's three steps: chemo and other two, radial and another one, and then they would make an extermination for parts of her throat, jaw, and tongue. And then they would be like, inshallah, hopefully, the cancer will be gone. Do you believe that? Like, they were literally going to destroy her mentally, physically, and give her a distortion. And then, hopefully, they would be able to cure the disease. Is that even a fair treatment for any patient in the world? That is not a treatment. You're not a doctor by that. You know what I mean? I used to work in an organic, vegan, raw foods kitchen, and we had cancer patients come in, and they said that diet helped so much. Also, people who said the doctors didn't know what was wrong. Exactly. Doctors only go according to protocols. They don't really think much. Like this is the book, this is what written, this is the medicines that we had to give for people. It's kind of, in my opinion, inhuman. Okay, so this girl, as I said, only took 4 sessions of chemo. Okay, and the pain that she had seen in those sessions, she said like, cancer didn't cause me such a pain. So she, after that, decided to cut the medicine, cut the sessions, everything. And lucky enough, she saw this doctor on her feed, and she decided to follow his dietitian. And let's see his diet. Let's see what's gonna happen. Surprisingly enough, I don't really know how many months did she took, like maybe 6 months or something. Then she made a test to see how many cells are still in her body, and she found nothing. Nada. Can you believe that? And obviously, the doctor was so shocked because at the first he was so fighting her aggressively, like, you can't leave chemo, you are killing yourself, you're just gonna die a few months from now. And then seeing that all cancer cells just got removed and vanished. So, hearing her story, I feel so much happiness for her. And I got like, why are they just not telling us such things? Why do they need to keep the system? It's not the why, because I know the doctor I told you about got, so it's obviously why. But I mean, like, could you imagine how many economical market this um nutrition system just destroyed? Like, count with me. He says, after you follow this nutrition system and your body starts curing itself, you will never use a medication, even if you had chronic disease like pressure, blood pressure, diabetes. You know what I said? So he destroyed all medication market, destroyed the great chicken market, and now they are creating meat in labs. Come on, just calm down, okay? So, and egg and veggies, basically destroying every market out there. So that's why, by the way, it's not the first time for me to hear that someone who discovered something that would help cure cancer, and then hear that he got executed. But it was like, oh, that's like in 19s, 19 something, and that's very old. But I got really shocked when it really happened in modern. Like, the ritual is still going. You know what I mean? It's not like something that just happened and never happened again. It's really, I don't know. It puts fear in myself. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? But this is actually a story that I loved to share with y'all because I got really moved by it. And by the way, again, going back to logic, let's say, like, when people arguing about his system, they don't argue logically. They only argue in the protocolar way. Like, they say, like, oh, he says you can't eat a chicken or you can't eat the egg. That's not true, because studies has been shown that this protein helps you in 1, 2, 3. Okay, but can you explain why his patients got cured? Can you explain the system in a scientific way? Like, what it really does to the body? Like, for example, he says that flour makes a gluey, sticky thing that goes into the digestive system, preventing him from absorbing all nutrients. Okay, how about you explaining the opposite? Let's see. Here we have a patient who ate, for example, white flour and didn't have such things that he says. We made this scammer go inside the body, and you know what I mean? They don't argue that like that. They only follow systems. And for me, I don't like that. I don't get convinced with that. You know what I mean? That's all about money and power. That's why they don't want us to know about cures. Definitely. Unfortunately, this is the world we are at. It's sad. Also, adding in that, like, what could he possibly be gaining of putting some nutrition system out there? Like, let's imagine that he was lying. Okay, he just put this system out there seeking attention and virality on social media. Well, he has been there for almost 5-ish years, and it's only very late, like approximately 4 months ago, where he went viral. So that is not logical. Well, maybe he put that system because he wanted to sell, what we call it, the nutrient supplements. Surprisingly enough, he didn't. He actually opposes that. He says no medication ever. So when you think about it logically, he is a true doctor. He is right. But just people out there can't break the system. Also, surprisingly enough, when this patient went out, as I said earlier, and said, like, oh, he cured me, doctors from the hospital she was going to got out and said, no, she's actually a liar. She scams you. She took all her chemos and all her medications. That's why she got cured from cancer. But then she went out and she said, why are you lying? That is not true. Give me the records. Show me the records. Where did I sign for leaving? I'm supposed to be signing every time I go on and out, you know? So it's like weird. Like, what do you get from, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? So this has been such a hot topic that went very viral in the Arab world lately. And by the way, now as the man has passed away, not passed unfortunately, but may peace be upon his soul. Um, People are still criticizing and making him look like a fool. And I do agree that some clips for him I never agreed with, because like some people get off topic. Like for example, I make content about Gaza, but now I'm off topic, you know? But from the scientific nutrition system, I do support him fully with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, there was pretty something going on lately on my mind that I really liked to share. And the biggest motivator was because one of my followers sent me a DM on Instagram. She has been a follower since a very long time, okay? And she says that she had some kind of disease, but when she goes to the pharmacy to take her medications, they gave her medications from boycotted brands. Okay, but when she asked the pharmacy to like give her another alternative, they refuse. So she says, I'm sad enough, to the point I don't want to take my medications because I don't want to support them. And that stopped me for a second. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I totally understand your support. I deep heartedly understand how supportive you are, and your message reached my heart, touched my heart. But there are priorities. Adding on that, boycotting is only when you have the alternative, because here we are in Gaza, we don't boycott. Why? Because everything is being controlled, and they make sure to get everything on the boycott list in. So, but she obviously resisted, and that's why I just made this live stream. She'd get to see it. Maybe this would help her actually to each person could try this system for like 3 months. Okay, just 3 months. 3 months of the whole human life is literally nothing, and you would be able to see it for yourself. That was actually pretty everything in my mind. Thank you all for listening. I do appreciate. I say thank you for listening, but you really can't speak to me, so you have to listen. Thank you. Okay, I am late. Can someone summarize? You can rewatch again after this ends. We actually talked about a doctor in the Arab world who got very viral lately for inventing a nutrient system who that cures all diseases in his claims, including cancer and high blood pressure, diabetes, etc. Unfortunately, he got very lately. I mean, like almost to, oh, I believe that was, don't worry. I believe maybe like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that was the whole thing. Thank you for telling us about that, Akar. I'd never hear that. Definitely because it is in the Arab world. I hope and I wish I had the opportunity to tell more and more and give you PDFs translating all his records. But like, that's a big work, you know? Thanks for trying to give us an inspiration. I appreciate that. Love protect you and bless you. Thank you. And make it easy for you to take your education very far. I mean, this world is but a test, but I pray things get easy for you. I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, now 10 minutes almost till reaching the 1 hour limit of our live stream. So, if you have a question about anything, I would be very happy to answer. The mic is all yours. I've been yapping for an hour, so it's your time. I wish in YouTube they had the feature where you can join me, like Instagram, you know? I don't know if that would be possible soon, but that would be actually such a good feature, right? I believe we found the cure to cancer, but it's not being shared with the public. Rather, something that can be only accessed by the upper class, ruling class of the world. I totally agree with that. But can someone remind me, how did Steve Jobs died? What was the did he die from cancer? Like what was the disease? When can we buy the merch? That is a very important topic to discuss. Actually, currently we are working on something very different and very unique. And I can't say more, so stay updated. Um, I don't really have a specific time, but we would drop soon, so be ready. Pancreatic, oh, cancer. So yeah, it was cancer. Okay, was wondering about the hoodies. You saw? Someone here saw the Instagram stories for the brand, and yes, okay, this is so good. I haven't told you a very good story about when my audience tried rage baiting me. That is a very good story. But so talking about the hoodies, yes, you remember the early limited access we had. So our exclusive customer was able to get the offer and get her exclusive pieces that weren't actually released on the website during the launch day. She got a hat and she got a cute little hoodie. It's not little, but hoodie. And they look absolutely great. I post reviews, pics, everything on the brand's Instagram. You could find at the description box here. And yeah, hopefully soon. You're honestly an inspiration to us all. Genuinely, still keep going after all of this. We're praying for you and your freedom, success, and soon moving abroad to city. Thank you so much. I do appreciate such a supportive comment. Thank you. Apologies, I don't know what you guys spoke before, but I've tried with my dad's colon cancer. What's fen fenbendazole? I think that is a medication. Okay, and how did it happen? Like, I mean, did it has good results? What's Warmer? Let me see. Mm, you can find, yeah. Actually, okay, how's your dad doing? Hopefully he's doing well and good, and I wish him all the best. By the way, you can rewatch this video all again or this live stream once it's gone. It's done. and see, you may find something helpful. Because we talked about a doctor who shared a nutrition system that he claims to be curing all kind of diseases. Do you want to be something when you grow older, or no? No, I don't want to be something, I want to be someone, is given for parasites in humans and animals. Okay. hmm He didn't want to live. Yeah, obviously, when people are sick, they feel at their lowest. But it is our responsibility to encourage them always and lifting their spirit up. Let me tell you a story about when my followers tried to rage bait me. But listen, now if you've seen the last vlog I posted about making my table, okay, which is my brother made me, by the way, and I'm so happy about it. I'm using it at the moment, okay? And I shared an opinion that resonates with me, which is you don't have to leave your comfort zone in order to grow. Now, I posted that same concept, but in a short format, okay? Now, as someone who has been following the culture and productivity advice, productivity content, etc., literally, you wouldn't believe me. But since I was in six ish grade, okay? So I know when I say something like leaving my comfort zone doesn't mean growth, I know that this is rage beating. This is completely unfamiliar and people would argue at me, etc. But the thing is, when I posted that short and I told people that, surprisingly, all comments agreed with me. That was mind blowing because I expected this video to be like a huge rage bait. People would be like at the comments, you know, battling with each other. Surprisingly, there were only two sections and only two sections. First of all, people who agreed with me. Second of all, people who didn't agree with me, but after hearing my argument, agreed with me. So it was really so funny to me. Like, since uploading, I kept laughing because my followers and my audience are beyond understanding. Like, they always have my back. Like, I believe they would take a bullet from me. God forbid, okay? But that's really, for me, like, is that serious? Like, it's, I don't know, it was mind blowing to me how supportive our community is. And it's pretty something I'm so grateful for. So grateful for, you know? So, yeah. Also, late responding, but Steve Jobs had complications with a pancreatic tumor. So, isn't it cancer? So, it's not cancer, it's just a tumor? The short is amazing. Definitely, I am in it. This is the energy my audience give me. Like, everything is called definitely, I made it. What's the context to this poll? Help, I just got here where this poll actually got ended because we already discussed everything about it. You can watch the recap later. Is there a famous dessert you would dessert you would like to try if you could? Not really, but I am in love with our kunafa nabalsiya, which is the national dessert. Man, that exceeds every dessert out there. I think it was cancer. Okay. Actually, tumor grows and become cancer. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you all for joining me and for giving me some of your precious time. I deeply appreciate that. And I'm so proud how mature my audience are open minded, accepting to different like point of views, that is definitely something I am lucky for it. You know, I know people are jealous about us. We are just an exclusive community. So, thank you all for joining. Wish you all the best always. Bye. And if you have someone who you believe would get benefited from hearing the nutrition system, I would love for you to share this live stream to him. And if you actually tried it or wanted more informations, I'm all ears and I'm here to help. I would love to assist. Thank you so much. Bye. Ending. Bye.